Welcome back. Today I'm joined by Kristina, who has so generously agreed to share her fertility journey at the age of 43. And these conversations are here so that women know that they are not alone. And so, Kristina, can you start by sharing with us where you are right now in your journey?
Yeah, so I'm currently 43, so over the age of 40, and my fertility journey hasn't been that long. I know some people have been on that journey for many, many years. My husband and I really started in 2023 to be serious about wanting a child. So throughout all our prior years, even though we've been married for over 20 years, we just really never, I know it's such a long time, but we met very early on in life and we knew we wanted a family at some point, but we wanted to be settled. And so our life really kind of started to begin at 2020, right? And it was just like, okay, now is not the time. We literally cannot. Financially, I can't think of bringing a child into this world. Look at the pandemic, look what's happening. And then after a few years, we said, okay, let's do this. And it didn't really take long. After a few months, I got pregnant, and unfortunately, I had a chemical pregnancy. And I mean, if people don't know what a chemical pregnancy is, that's really within 5, 6 weeks you lose the pregnancy. We said, okay, well, let's keep moving. Let's just try again. And sure enough, I got pregnant really a month later. And unfortunately, I had a missed miscarriage. So a missed miscarriage, basically the pregnancy wasn't viable at the like 10-week mark. My gynecologist was like, listen, there's no heartbeat. You're probably going to miscarry. Let's just wait for your body to let go of pregnancy. And my body wasn't letting go. And the pregnancy continued. And at 12 weeks, I said, listen, I don't want to do DNC. I don't want to do any surgeries. I don't want to create scar tissue in my body. So he gave me a medication. And that same night, I started to release. And yeah, that was end of October 2023. And ever since then, I've been healing, and no baby yet. So that's been the journey.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that so openly, Kristina. I know that many women who are listening are definitely going to resonate with different aspects of your story for
Yeah.
sure. So thank you. You mentioned in your application, because when I put out the call to talk with women over 40 about their fertility journey, they sent in applications. So you mentioned in your application something that really struck me, and that was really the reason why I chose you, because it's something that I think a lot of women actually experience, but don't necessarily voice so much. And it was specifically that sometimes you wonder if you're not motherly enough, especially
Yeah.
because you didn't want children earlier in life. And I see that not necessarily in women also, who I see that question in women who where the desire came later in life, but I also see it in women who have wanted to be mothers for a long time, maybe since they were younger, but because the journey has been so long and so protracted for them, they start to wonder, I'm the same question, am I motherly enough? And so it goes to the sense of worthiness of being a mother. So can you tell me more about how that thought about not being motherly enough shows up for you?
Yeah, I never had that feeling of emptiness in my womb, but I always knew that I want a family with my husband. And I mean, I'm 100% European, and my husband is the complete opposite. He's Dominican. He has all types of DNA within his signature. And I always wanted to have a child with him. Like I felt we're definitely going to have a family together. And so that feeling of not being motherly enough is also, I'm a workaholic. I love to do many different things. And do I have enough time in my life to put someone else first beyond myself and my husband? And we have a dog and we have a cat, and I've had my dog for 7 years and he's become like my child. I take care of him and he's primarily my dog. So he's like a human. But ultimately, it's not the same like having a baby where you have to wake up a million times a night and day and have sleepless nights and all that stuff. So, do I have that in me? I question myself sometimes, even though desire is there, and I would really love to have a family with my husband. But there are these, fears, these little thoughts of doubt. Like,
Mhm.
am I suited enough to really be a mother? And my mother has said, like, your generation is so selfish. Like, you all waited so long. And like, now look, she's never said it explicitly, but like, I bet that she believes that, oh, well, it's too late. They probably won't be able to. Or maybe they think, oh, IVF, IVF. But I mean, I want to go the natural route, even
Mhm.
though there's nothing wrong with IVF. But
Mhm.
anyways, yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that. So let's go back to think about what makes a mother, right? Let's just think about that for a second. Because I want to take the focus away from the physical aspect, because that's the very external part that kind of people
Yeah.
tend to focus on quite heavily, which is understandable because we're very externally driven, and and that's kind of how we're conditioned. But let's think for a mother about think about what makes a mother. Is it the age that you start trying?
No,
Is it how long that you've wanted it?
no.
So is it the qualities that you carry?
I think it's the qualities.
Right.
Yes.
It's not the physical activities that define me as a mother. Yeah, it's part of the process, but it's the qualities that you carry at 43, or whatever the age is that the viewer is listening to, watching this video. It's the patience, it's the devotion, right? It's the willingness to love beyond yourself. It's the willingness to put someone else before you. It's the ability to stay anchored to your truth while society is telling you to do this and that for your child. It's the ability to stay your ground. So those are all qualities that you carry because of the life that you've lived, right? Through the challenges, through the ups and downs, through the periods when you've been stretched, through the joys and the celebrations, all of that made you who you are now. And so it's those qualities that lend itself to being a mother. It's not so much the physical aspect. The physical aspect actually comes last as a material manifestation of the energetic embodiment of the mother. The reason why many women who are younger get pregnant so easily and quickly is because they don't question that. It's just when I made a decision to become a mother, I didn't question that. It just was, okay, I'm ready now. And, being a mother is just part of my plan. And what I've noticed with women over 40 is they start questioning kind of pretty much everything, right? Almost right from the get-go, right? They're starting to put pebbles on the path in front of them of doubt, of the anxiety and the fear. And so my encouragement to you is, because when I look at you, and we talked just very briefly off camera before we started the recording, what I see are those very qualities, right? You've been cultivating them through all of the twists and turns of your life, especially this journey, right? You've been really forged through some fires, and you've had celebrations, and you have, great moments and stuff, but it runs the full spectrum. And that's what created who you are right now in this moment. So I think for so many women listening, this is a very tender place to be in, where we confuse timing with worth. But your worth as a mother has never been in question. Like, the universe doesn't question your ability to be a mother. It's you who's questioning it. It's you who's creating the story because of whatever it is, whether it's the age or the diagnosis, how long you've been on the journey, how difficult it's been, the struggles that you've had. People create these stories of, well, because of my past history, does this mean I'm worthy enough, valuable enough inherently to be able to get what I want? And I really want to encourage people to just drop all of that. Don't try to defend your desire to be a mother. You don't defend your desire to be an acupuncturist or to be a professor or to want your house. You don't defend it. I just want it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's so I really encourage people to have that same attitude about the motherhood. I want it. It's something that's within me. There's a soul longing. It might be that deep that deep knowing. It might be that yearning, or it might be just, for you, it was more like, it sounded like more of a flicker that came on and then the light just turned on one day. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I think I want this, right? Like, you don't need to justify it. Just accept it. Because I want it, it is for me. Period. End of story. There needs to be no explanation behind that. And I see people, women trying to explain away why, the whole story and the journey, and it just kind of, and it gets to them because there have been so many ups and downs. Stay really centered in who you are, and that whatever that you've been through up until this point has prepared you exactly to be the mother that you're meant to be. Because let's say you're married, let's say you're single at 43. At 43, you have a job, you're really well established. Are you going to want to date someone or have a long-term relationship with someone who's in their 20s and just still figuring their shit out? Is that of any interest to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You want someone who is forward thinking, long term, commitment ready, who is ready to grow with you, who wants to have a similar path, who has similar values. So there's a certain type of person that you want to be your partner. You're married, but so it's like, this is a hypothetical, right? So
Right.
it goes with the same thing with a child, with a baby. All babies have different personalities. There are 8 billion people plus on this planet. There are 8 billion plus personalities. I can promise you that there is a baby who wants you for the way that you are, who wants you and your husband for the pair that you make, for the family that you will create, for the love that you're going to engender and cultivate and nurture. There is a baby for you. And as long as you can stay really centered and anchored and tethered to that, that will have to guide you. Despite all of the noise that society puts on you, whatever the medical doctors say, you have to be able to shut that out because it's just noise and it's just distraction. You have to allow your inner truth to guide you, right? And if that inner truth is pointing to, I want to be a mother, despite what everyone else is saying about my age, my medical diagnosis, and blah, 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 and my past medical history, I'm going to let my inner truth guide me because I know that my inner truth would not guide me if it didn't think it was possible. But if my inner truth is telling me at the age of 43, I can be a mother, it means that within your that there is a timeline, a field of coherence and alignment that is possible for you. That's the reason why you have this hope and you have this desire, because that's who you truly are underneath the doubt and the fear and the anxiety and the noise. And so stay really anchored to that. So is it all right if we do a simple practice to help you embody your worth as a mother? It's just very simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like for you to place one hand on your heart and one on your womb. And I really love kind of this physical anchoring. And I use that pretty much in almost all my meditations, is because we want that coherence of the heart and the womb together to work together. And so just close your eyes and just take a slow breath in and help allow yourself to get anchored into this moment and just to my voice, allowing anything else, any distractions to just drop away momentarily while you're with me. And then once you feel centered and anchored and very present, there's a stillness in that presence. So your mind's not chattering. Once you feel like you can dive underneath that chatter, silently ask yourself, what makes me a mother? And then allow any words, images, or sensations to arise without any judgment. And then what comes to you, if anything, Kristina?
Extremely loving and caring.
Yeah. Does anything else come up besides the love and the care? Doesn't have to.
Joy.
Beautiful. Right. Having a child, creating a family is about joy. You have that within you to offer, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that part of being a mother? Right.
Yes.
So love, care, joy, those are qualities of being a mother. So can you shift to allow yourself to shift and embrace and open up to this energetic reality? Because it is an energetic reality that you are already a mother.
Yes.
Okay, great. And then so now just repeat after me. We'll just do some affirmations. Repeat after me silently or out loud. My worthiness is not in the timing.
My worthiness is not in the timing.
My worthiness is in the love, care, and joy I have for my child.
My worthiness is in the love, care, and joy I have for my child.
And that's what makes me a mother already.
And that's what makes me a mother already.
And just breathe deeply, allowing that to sink in. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. How did that feel for you?
Good, because deep down I know that
Yes,
it's
you
it's
do.
there, it's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the external chatter.
Yep. So every time you get pulled off course, which we all do, because it's so now noisy and loud and incessant,
Yeah.
every time you feel yourself getting pulled out, come back to this. Come back to this knowing. This is the truth of who you are. This is the truth of what you're able to offer right now. And this is the energetic alignment of becoming a mother. If you stay connected to this and you stay aligned to this, then the physical manifestation will eventually come along. So that's what I would suggest is using that. It's a very simple practice to connect with that. And so I just want to share what my perspective about timing is in working with women over 40. I believe that your baby chose you now. And I talked about that because
Yeah.
this version of you is exactly who they wanted, not the younger one who was still, trying to get all the bills paid and figuring out the financial logistics and getting the house. Not that one, because she still had stuff to get together, right? But
Yeah.
the more mature version who's in front of me right now, who knows that she has wisdom, who knows she has these internal resources physically, emotionally, spiritually, and even external financially now, right?
Yeah.
To be able to offer. So you have the wisdom. You can now navigate the complexity of being a mother. Because being a mother in this world, in this modern world, it's it's a bit challenging. You know,
Yes.
you need to be able to navigate it, knowing who you are and not getting pulled by society, not getting pulled by other people, right? By what your doctors say. So it's sometimes it's not that we waited too long. It's just that our soul and our baby soul had an agreement for this timing. So is that something that you're open to receiving as a possibility?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm very connected to the spirit world. I'm connected through dreams. I've had dreams of my potential child and children, actually. Like I don't know if it's a twin story or something, but
Beautiful.
yeah, it's just remarkable. But sometimes you're like, okay, is it divine timing? Or is saying divine timing is wishy-washy and I can really influence the timing? So I teeter-totter between those
Okay.
concepts of divine timing versus my timing.
So let me address the divine timing really quickly. It's been here for billions of years. We are but a speck of like we're like 0.0000001%. It's basically nil, right? Of in terms of our influence in terms of with how the world has developed and the universe has unfolded. So there is personal will and your personal journey of creating the path, but there's a lot of the universe in the timing because we're talking about another soul
Yeah,
as well. They have their own plan. Their plan is not to just do whatever you want under your schedule. They have their
right.
own plan. So, and this is what I mean with women over 40 is they're seeking women who are more mature, who need the presence. They want mothers who have the presence and the stillness and the maturity and the wisdom to guide them. And that's not something that, and I'm going to generalize, that you probably didn't have at 20 or 30.
Oh yeah. Even a few years ago, I
Even a
didn't
few
feel
years ago.
mature enough.
Right. So just know that you have a baby who wants this version of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you
So,
for that.
yeah, you're welcome. Kristina, thank you for sharing your heart and your journey so openly. For those watching, if you see yourself in Kristina's story, know that these fears don't mean that you're not ready. They just mean that you're human and you're just navigating a complex journey that has twists and turns. And, just turn the corner and see what's around the corner, because you might be surprised. And so these fears, these ups and downs, they can become the very doorway into just a deeper trust in yourself and your path. And thank you for being here. And remember, your timing is sacred. You're not behind. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Thank you, Kristina. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.